Welcome back, dear listeners. We're in episode 92, and today I'll tell you about my first day on my first job. I finally had a job. Never mind if it was a small time recruiter, it was a job, it was progress. I was excited to finally move out of my inertia. Day one, and I went to work completely naive and blank, expecting colleagues to be friendly and helpful just as I would be to a new colleague. In my naivety, I did not realize that they would see me as competition, and also that not all people are helpful and nice. In fact, unfortunately, being nice is seen as a weakness in the corporate world. In spite of the indifference of my colleagues, I nervously went about settling into my first day at work. After a few hours, I inquired about the washroom and was told that the floor had common washrooms and the office did not have its own individual toilet. I was surprised and immediately uncomfortable. There were at least 20 or 30 offices on each floor of this building. I asked my female colleagues if any of them would accompany me to the washroom. I went to each one of them, and each one of them declined in a different way. In school and college, at least a couple of friends went with you to the washroom. You never went alone. At least on day one, I thought someone would show me some kindness just until I became comfortable going there on my own. No one was inclined to accompany me, and the peon just gave me the key and pointed out where I would find the washroom. Already feeling alone and isolated in this workplace, I awkwardly walked to the washroom. The area was unclean and stinky. There I realized that the bathroom had no running water. There was just a toilet and flush. Being Indian, I was used to splashing water after peeing to be sure that I was clean. I could not imagine just peeing and getting up. I walked back to the office asking about water. The colleagues told me that the only water in the office was in the fridge. The peon handed me a glass water bottle from the fridge. Feeling even more uncomfortable, I walked back to the washroom and attempted to open it with the key. I couldn't open it. I was kind of on the verge of tears. I had not expected my colleagues to be so cold and unfriendly. I had just thought that I would find warmth and friendship, projecting what I would do. And also simply because I had not come across such a situation before. I was confused by their indifference to my fate. I would never do that to anyone. Now, being unable to open the washroom door with the key, I placed the bottle in front of it and timidly went back to the office to ask again if someone would help me just this once to open the door to that bathroom. I didn't know how to unlock it, it just wasn't working the way I was trying. The colleagues couldn't care less and did not help me. I walked back to the bathroom alone and found that someone had stolen the bottle. Again, close to tears, I tried to unlock the door but couldn't. I went back to the office and said that someone had stolen the bottle. Nobody was bothered and I just went back to my desk. All day I held in my pee, growing more furious and dejected. I had started from home around 8 a.m. and left from the office at 6 p.m. or so. I had never held in my pee for so long, ever. I got into a train at VT station and started the long journey back home to Vikhroli with just one thought, that I'd get home and relieve myself. After the 1 hour train commute, I walked the 1 kilometer home with rising anticipation. I was almost there, I told myself. I climbed the 3 flights of stairs in agony and rang the doorbell. I knocked and rang the bell to no answer. Of course, Murphy's Law had to apply, and nobody was home. It was now 7:30, almost 12 hours since I had last used the washroom. I just wanted to pee. Dejected, I went downstairs and awkwardly explained my predicament to a neighbor auntie. She let me use her washroom. The next morning, I got a call from my employer asking why I hadn't come into work. I furiously told him about what had happened the previous day. He tried to tell me that it was just a starting hiccup and that I would soon settle in. But I did not want to work with such cruel colleagues. I refused to go back there. My employer reminded me that I had signed an agreement to work for him. I told him that nothing would induce me to go back to that workplace. And that was the end of that. Next time, I'll tell you about my actual first job. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye for now.